What's up, guys? So, back again with my DB series. I don't know if I call this a series, it's just me playing DB. But I want you guys to see me on my grind to 1k, and I am pretty close. This was the game that got me back into the 900s again, and I'm against Unchained. So, Unchained, I think it's a really annoying matchup. It's a really annoying one, because they can kill you from nowhere. And so, but I would say this is a pretty stellar hand. Like, maybe HQ's like the worst card, but even here, like, HQ's not terrible. This hand plays through almost everything. The only thing this hand really loses to is like double hand trap, or if he was to like Ash Blossom the Airlifter, then that would be kind of annoying, because then Prosperity has to dig, but no one's going to just hit Airlifter like that normally anyway. So I'm pretty good. He drolls me, I'm like, calm, I don't care at all. And so I'm just going to bring out Turbulence, and I'm really happy here as well, because that resolves, which means I know he doesn't have Ash. And if he tries to imperm or whatever the Turbulence, I have a Book of Moon to counter it. He doesn't even have that, so it becomes a really easy game for me here. Set forward Turbulence. I've also got a Book of Moon. Prosperity I can't use, but I don't mind. It means next turn it's a pretty easy win. Now, he Book of Eclipses here, and this is something I see a lot of people do. They'll waste a card like Book of Eclipse. Now, admittedly, I didn't set Emergency and he saw that, but you know I've got a card engraved, you know I'm playing Rescue Ace. I feel as though it's quite... I personally wouldn't go for the Book of Eclipse there. It doesn't do anything. It's not hard for me to get another body out on the field, so I don't think it's necessarily the best play. But yeah, he does that. I let him summon this card out. As soon as he summons that card out, I'm happy, because this is the card that dodges a lot of your Rescue Ace spells and traps, or not spells and traps, but dodges a lot of your traps. And so once they've used this in hand effect, it means your traps are just always going to resolve. And then when I saw him trigger Unchained Soul in hand, I was happy. Unchained players love to overextend. They'll summon this out and discard a card, and then it's just a free negate. Like, this is a bad card a lot of the times. You don't, if you're playing Unchained, don't just summon this and try and get the pop off like that, because I mean, you're doing this into 4 sets, one of them which you know is a negate, and you have no way to play through that. But whatever, to be honest, it's not like he has a huge amount he can do. But yeah, he summons out, he summons out blue. Now he's discarded a card, so I have no fear. And so my thought here is just, all I really need to do is stop him getting into a Link 2. Obviously everything's in defense, so this is never crashing. So it's just eradicate Shyama from the board. Well, first I negate that, and then my thought is I need to get Shyama off the board so you can't threaten anything, you can't get some pops. And then I need to choose one of these to get off the board. Now, admittedly, I don't actually want to pop this. I'd rather leave this than that. But I'm like, it doesn't matter anyway. Whichever one I get rid of, he's not going to get into a Link 2. He has no more extenders. So I pop that, he scoops, we're going to game 2. So, game 2, I think I lose this one. I lose this one, and I shouldn't have. Admittedly, my top deck wasn't amazing, but yeah, he goes into his kind of standard Unchained combo. Now, what is a bit of a shame here is that I don't open any hand traps at all. But my thought is, okay, I know that he's going to probably end on a standard board of Link 2 plus his XYZ, that is Solemn Strike times 2, plus a pop on the back row, plus anything else. So I'm pretty confident that I can beat anything but this card, Imperm. And the reason why Imperm is so annoying is because when you're doing your lines, it's quite hard to play around. And you'll see, I end up losing this game because he just imperms my hydrant when I try and search for it, stops my line. So I go into LFT, he doesn't stop it here, and I have Book of Moon. Book of Moon is an amazing card because it just gets rid of that. The reason why I held the Book of Moon, and you need to be careful, is just in case he baited imperm here, then I could have Book of Moon my airlifter. Admittedly, that stops me getting the Caesar out, but because I have Preventer in hand, then I still have plays after that to go into Link 2s, etc. So yeah, he stops that, but yeah, it was very smart of him to hold that. It's a bit annoying. He goes into Unchained Soul of Rage. What's a bit annoying is it would have been nice to use Preventer, but I really do want to use his Graveyard effect, and obviously Nib top deck is kind of dead, so I have a dead card in hand. Goes into his Link 3, I'm like, sure, that's fine. I'm going to bring out 2 cards here. Perhaps there's a world actually where I summon Hydrant here, now that I think about it, because then it forces him to do 2 interactions first, but then I couldn't get Hydrant back out, could I? So I don't know, maybe a Hydrant summon there is probably not correct. Yeah, going to battle phase, out his first card. But now I just know that, okay, I know he's got this, because I asked him, I was like, I don't remember, what did you set off Big Red last turn? He tells me it's this. So now he's got this and this, but it means he's got 1 unknown. I'm like, it's probably Imperm. It's Imperm, I just lose, to be honest. There's not a lot I can do. If you see something, tell me, but I don't see a line here. Then, so yeah, I bring out the Hydrant. Hydrant's going to add Preventer back to my hand, but it just doesn't really do anything here. Because yeah, he's got the Imperm to stop my Hydrant even getting a search. So you're going to see now, I try and Hydrant search, he Imperms that, and that is game. We go into game game 3. Now, game 3 is looking really, really good again. I opened a pretty nice hand, and again, what's nice about this deck is how little you care about draw sometimes. He's got draw and perm, but I've got Book of Moon again. Summon Fenrir as well. I've switched my build again, and I actually might do a profile. I'll switch my build back again to the build with Fenrir, just because it's like sometimes Fenrir is just so unfair. Like, his ability to banish a card face down really works well into decks like this. So we'll see. I'm going to add the alert just in case. That gives me recursion, and it also means that my hydrant can do a double search, but he trolls me anyway. But it's like, whatever. I've got the turbulence also gets booked, so you can't do much, and he just opened loads of Book of Moons. I would say I don't know what his side deck looks like, but I'm surprised he kept in all these Book of Moons. It's just not a good card against us. And then his hand is just not good enough to really do too much. So yes, he gets the Aruha, he has the tour guide, but it's just not enough to stop me playing. Now that I see that other Book of Moon, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really make sense to. I don't know. Yeah, I think Book of the Moon and Fire Attacker is not that easy. I think it would have actually made more sense to Book of Moon Fenrir, just because Contain can only negate one card, and then after that, his Aruha can destroy Book of Moon, summon, go into a link to. Like, it seems like a better line than Book of the Moon and this Fire Attacker, but is what it is. I'm going to bring out my cards. He's going to bring out Rakea from the deck. Rakea is going to get immediately banished. He's going to Ruha to summon, but I mean, that's just doing nothing from there, and so he just scoops. But guys, look, that is Rescue versus Unchained. Very, very good matchup for me, and went pretty well. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.